Thank you for joining us on our Family First Life Tri-State Serve the People podcast. We appreciate you tuning in, spending your time to develop and grow with us. Follow us, please, on all our social media platforms at Family First Life Tri-State or FFL Tri-State. We love you. Keep listening, and I hope this information is serving you across the country. All right, everybody, thank you for jumping on with us, our Family First Life Tri-State Trends podcast. We are absolutely smoking hot trending with Dora Dail from FFL Believe. And she's out there serving a bunch of families every single week, proving, that she can crush this. And she is absolutely crushing it. And I told her before we jumped on, I've seen her face in a lot of graphics. But boy, it's an honor to have you on the podcast, Dora. How are you doing today?
Great.
It's amazing to have you. You are setting quite the blaze out there, and it's awesome to see, you catch that fire, catch that confidence. But if you could do us a favor and just kind of tell us, where you're from, how you found FFL, and what makes this an attractive opportunity for you and your family.
Yeah, for sure. I grew up in Connecticut. I'm in Michigan now. Been married for a couple years. I was teaching at our Christian school for 2 years, and didn't really enjoy teaching very much. I was trying to find something that I could help our family with and help us to, eventually down the road have some more financial freedom. But also because my husband is a youth pastor at our church, I wanted to find something that I could give me a flexible schedule as well, where I could be my own boss and make my own schedule, but still make a decent living and help our family. So I knew Mindy for years. I followed her on Instagram, saw her starting to post about what an opportunity her job was. And so I reached out to her at one point, and she tried to like push me away. She always jokes with me that she tried to scare me away and make it seem like it was a very challenging job, but I was up for the challenge. So I kept on bugging her about it. And so that's how I got started though.
That's awesome. So what inside you said, well, she keeps telling me it's a challenge, but I want to do it anyway. What was that?
I'm a hard worker, and that hard work didn't really scare me away. But I could tell that it was such a, just that it could be possibly if I worked hard and, put in the effort and, was willing to buy leads and do the different things that you have to do, that it could be, potentially something that could help my family. And so, that didn't scare me away, hard work. So.
Love it. Now, when you were talking about you wanted more for your family, you wanted to do stuff to try to help your financial future and have some financial flexibility. Did you have any idea what that was going to be when you were like, what were you thinking about?
At the time, I had no idea. I was just really looking for something where I could be my own boss. I mean, I had done like Instacart and like DoorDash and stuff. So I had no idea, how much it would really help my family, but yeah.
The world of life insurance. So how did you catch fire? Talk to us about your evolution? You got rolling. Mm-hmm. How did you start to evolve? What were some of the things that kind of maybe held you up in the beginning?
Yeah. Well, in the beginning, like I've never heard one thing in my life about life insurance or any type of insurance at all. So I've never done anything with sales, so it was a totally new concept, everything from the get-go. So I just, I did definitely fail a lot in the beginning. But I just became a student of the game and learned to trust the process. And in the beginning, like I said, it was probably a few weeks that I was maybe barely breaking even, like on my lead costs. But because I just kept watching videos between every in-home and calling Mindy after every in-home, asking her, I said this, what should I have said? But the only place I could go was up. So it was a process in the beginning, but just staying really plugged in to Facebook, the Facebook page, videos, talking to my upline a lot. I think that's what helped me grow eventually.
That's awesome. Now, did you know, What made you believe you were going to be successful? Like when you're breaking even on leads and you're like, I need to double down on podcasts. I need to double down on talking to my mentor. I need to double down. What made you say that? A lot of people don't. A lot of people go, I knew this wasn't going to work, or something along the lines of, this will never work for me. You just kept doubling down.
Mm-hmm.
What was it about you that made you double down?
I think for one, I trust the process because I know that, like, I've seen all these videos of all these people on YouTube, that are doing it and they figured it out. And there's just such a clear path. Like if I follow that, like I'm going to get there too. And secondly, I just knew that I believed in myself. Like I knew that I could do it because I've always been able to figure everything out. Like I'll obsess over it and I won't give up on it until I figure it out. So I just knew that this wasn't going to be any different. And I feel like the more I did fail, it was just like, it made me be that much more determined that like, no, I'm not going to let this beat me. I'm going to figure it out. And eventually it did. So
eventually it did. And eventually it did. And eventually it did. You are crushing it. I mean, how many families on average are you helping a week right now?
A week, on average between 7 and 10, I guess. Last month I averaged 10 a week.
10 families a week. I mean, it just makes sense. So I mean, like, now, what does your schedule look like? Are you field, telesales, or hybrid? And then what are you doing for leads?
All just out in the field right now. Me and Mindy have both talked about wanting to like get into telesales, at least just on the side. I don't know, unless I started and was like, man, like I'm so good at this. I don't know that I would ever just commit completely to that just because I have so much great leads here for in-home, but I definitely do want to learn it a little on the side so that I can help my team, because I do have recruits coming in that are going to have to do telesales just because of the area that they're in. So I want to learn it and be able to help them. But yeah, right now it's all in the home.
Nice. What are you running for a schedule?
Like what days do I dial?
How many days in the field are you? How many appointments a week? What do you dial? What days do you dial? How are you set up?
I'm always trying to get at least 25 appointments a week, but 25 to 30. And I should probably do more than that, but let's see, I was doing, because of our schedule with the church, I wasn't really able to work on Wednesdays, or Sundays. So I was dialing Monday for Tuesday and then Thursday for Friday and Saturday. But now to try to get my appointments up a little more, I figured out, if I I've been dialing Sunday afternoon for Monday and Tuesday. And then I would dial Wednesday morning for Thursday and Friday.
Nice.
And then Friday morning before appointments, or Thursday and Friday mornings before appointments, dial to fill up the rest of my schedule for like the rest of Friday and Saturday. So I'm pretty much able to work like pretty much every day. Just kind of working the system.
Now, was that a tip that you got from somebody, like a mentor, or is that something you just kind of worked out?
No, I was like, oh, I could actually, it weirdly makes my schedule lighter, because before I was having, in one day I had to dial and set like 12 appointments for the next day to try to get enough appointments. And now I can do like between 5 and 7 on each run day. And it takes off the pressure when I'm running, because if I have kind of a low day, I'm like, well, I have like 4 other run days this week. So, because I have like 5 run days a week. So it's like, I'm going to make it up, on another day. I don't know.
Makes sense. But that's allowed you to start producing and serving quite a few families. When you look at your lead flow and the things that you're doing to get leads, how many different types of leads are you running, and how many leads do you typically get a week?
A lot. I'm in a really good area, so I get a lot of leads. I have a couple different mailers. I have like call-in leads. Sometimes I'll use CRM if I have like a low dial day where I don't have enough leads. Buy per lead. So pretty much everything. All mortgage protection.
Got it.
So
okay. So talk to us a little bit about being able to sit down with a family and actually, how are you setting the table? How are you projecting confidence? How are you building rapport?
I mean, as far as like when I'm getting started, I wouldn't say I build a ton of rapport. Like just walking in the door, I'm just really, I might ask a couple questions. I saw on a video somewhere where, they might ask a couple questions, but it's really just about what's going to be on the application later. Like, oh, were you born here? Like, did you grow up here? Oh, okay. Where are you from? Or how long have you been here? Because it's going to ask that on the application, how long have they lived at this address, 6 years or less. So, I just ask a couple things like that, but they feel like I'm kind of getting to know them. And then as soon as we sit down, I'm just starting. But yeah. And then as I'm going through it though, like the financial questions, like, oh, what do you do for work? Oh, that's really cool. Like, so what exactly do you do for that? Oh, cool. And we kind of talk about it for like a minute and then I keep going. But, throughout that, by the end, like we definitely have a relationship.
So building rapport as you go, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the same the same concept that I use throughout my career. It's just like I'm here to do business. I usually say, I always said they want you out of their home as fast as you can get out. Like, how many times are you sitting at home waiting for a vendor to come in, and then they tell you what the process is, and you want them there for 4 hours. You want them, if they can do it in 20 minutes, you're happy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The psychology of that is legit. So it's not like I'm sitting here trying to have tea with you for 2 hours. But, I'm building rapport as we go. There's things that I need to ask you, and as I ask you those things, you're going to give me insights, and I will use those insights to help us build more rapport. I have questions. I'm going to ask you stuff. So like I'm a great question asker. So I'm going to ask you stuff. So if you tell me you said you were a teacher before this. Okay. Well, we need to talk about like what grade, how long you've been teaching, what school, how many kids in your class. See what I'm saying? Like we're going to build rapport, right? Right, Dora? Like, yeah. So that's the process. So when you look at this business as a whole, first off, how long have you been with Family First Life?
Since I started in the very beginning of August, so it's going on 8 months.
Good tender.
7 months, going on 8.
How do you feel? Do you feel like you hit, like you struck oil?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Just keeps getting better.
That's crazy. What is your anticipation for 2022? What are your goals?
Family First Life, Hall of Fame for sure. No brainer. And then definitely, I would like to, I don't know. I don't have a specific like month in the summer because I don't know anything about building an agency. I don't know how long it normally would take, but in the summer, by the summer at some point, I'd like to have an agency of making, helping 300 families a month at some point in the summer, just shooting high.
I like it.
But
listen, the way you hang on and hold on and fight through, there's no reason you can't inspire people to do the same. Tri-State Trending with my girl Dora Dail. Thank you so much for sharing with us. We're excited to get you on some more podcasts. You're crushing it, and I think you can be, as your teaching background says, you're going to be a great educator for people in this business. So thank you for sharing with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Trending out. Peace.